Hey everyone, this is Coach Phoenix.
And I'm Coach Gina.
And this is Toast with the Coaches. Cheers.
Cheers. Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Perspective, the show where we drink and talk about life, the universe, and all that other jazz.
And again, I'm Coach Phoenix, founder and CEO of Role Model Life Coaching, where we focus on life transitions. At Role Model Life Coaching, we partner with our clients to navigate down the road of life towards their model self.
And I'm Gina Erickson. I'm a certified life coach and founder of Clear Focus Coaching. I specialize in boundaries coaching, setting limits with those around you so that you can make room for yourself. I also specialize in empowering women. I help women to recognize their strength and potential in work, life, and relationships so that they can face every day with confidence and intention.
Without further ado, man, this is going to be a special one. I would like to raise a toast. I would like to raise a toast for an award-winning filmmaker, cinematographer, photographer, motivational speaker, advocate of the LGBTQ community, charming, happy AF, Las Vegas own, Mr. Pam. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh my God, I want to bring you around everywhere. That was the best introduction ever.
That's
Right?
what we do here at Toast with the Coaches, right, Gina?
Absolutely. No, Phoenix is like, if ever you need a hype man, apart from his coaching profession, if you need a hype man and someone to just like, he needs to be around my like ringtone in the morning because he's just like full of energy and power. He just like is amazing.
But you know, Gina, that's what we do as coaches, man. We partner with our clients and sometimes we're their cheerleaders. We also hold them accountability. So, you know, it's in my nature, you heard?
That's true. That's very true.
Definitely. So, Mr. Pam, what's going on, man? How's everything in the land of sex, drugs, and rock and roll, aka Las Vegas?
Hello, coming to you live from Sin City. It's a bit calmer in Sin City these days, but you know.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
And that's especially dealing with the pandemic and everything.
I know, it's nuts. No, things are going good. I'm here hanging out in Vegas. It's an awesome, beautiful day, and so excited to be with you two. And Phoenix had hit me up. I guess he saw me, stumbled upon me on Instagram. I'm still not really sure why. We'll get down to what you were actually looking for. But
no. So it's not a secret. So I'll go ahead and let you know. So Gina and I, this is what we do. We created a platform to bring an array of different guests to share their story and their perspectives, to share the light different topics. And one of the topics that we was interested in, it was your industry. So Gina and I came across your we, like everyone else, we came across your profile on Instagram. So check it out, the link below. Came across your profile and we was like, you know what? She seemed like an interesting person. Then you got one of our past guests, Buck Angel. He shot you out and gave you some credit, like, yo, that's an amazing individual. So we knew we needed a hat to bring you on the show. So here you are. Thank you so much for joining us. And like, let's rock and roll and get right to it, shall we?
Yeah, I feel like we're burying the lead here. You said cinematographer, photographer, the industry.
Award-winning.
Exactly. Award-winning. What is it exactly that you do, Mr. Pam?
I am a proud and passionate gay porn director.
Whoa! So, Mr. Pam, you're in this incredible industry. You're a female rocking in this industry. Can you tell us, like, where did it start? How do you get your start? How do you stumble across gay porn?
It's so random. I had an internship in college. We'll go way back. I went to Catholic school for 12 years, so of course that should answer all the questions. But
well, that's definitely where it starts. Yep.
Yeah.
Continue, Mr. Pam.
It's actually awesome. I loved it. Then undergrad, I was studying graphic design. I've always been an artist, photographer type person, and then decided I didn't want to leave college yet. So I went into grad school and I had an informational interview where we were supposed to go interview 3 different companies and just see what they do. And I was last because I'm always procrastinating. And so I had one more company to interview, and one of my fellow students was like, well, I have this post-production company out in Emeryville in the Bay Area, so why don't you come interview me? And so I'm like, okay. So I drive over there, and then it ends up that his clients were United Airlines family videos and gay porn. I'm like, you do gay porn? Oh my God. And so he was this gay guy that I absolutely loved. He was so funny.
Wait,
so
hold on a second though.
United Airlines, family videos, and gay porn. And he was always on my ass, do not mix up the clients, okay? Do not send United Airlines crazy fisting videos. Don't do that.
Wrong flotation device.
Just keep them separate.
She had to really make sure those edits was correct and make sure that those emails was on point. Like, let me double check, triple check, quadruple check.
Who is this going to? Okay, we're good. So I ended up learning how to video edit, and since I was new, he gave me the gay porn. And then through that, I ended up meeting a whole bunch of directors. But I was still in grad school, and I was lucky enough to have my parents still paying for my education. And I'm like, I love porn, but I don't want to dive into it all the way yet. So I ended up working at High Tech News for 6 years for CNET, that's now CBS News. And it was awesome, but then all of a sudden I had some family stuff and trauma in my life, and at those moments you could either fucking go down the rabbit hole and become a crackhead, or just take this trauma and I'm not happy at my job. I got this opportunity to go shoot behind the scenes on a big gay porn shoot in this cattle ranch for 3 weeks, and so I'm like, fuck it, let me quit my job and go shoot behind the scenes, like whatever.
So hold on. If I just stop you there. So you said some trauma happened to you, and based on that trauma, it made you want to go try something new in career-wise. Can you explain that a little more?
Yeah, I mean, since we're in a world of life coaching, it was my dad died suddenly. It was around the time of SARS, and he got sick and had a cold. Woke up one morning and just died. He was 60. He just started a company, and Dad died. Like it sucked, but it was like, oh, okay, I could deal with this. And then a year later in January, my little sister was 22, and she got in a car accident, in a drunk driving accident, and she died. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I had the best family. My mom, my sister, me, and my dad. Like,
very close to your family, yeah.
Oh God, the best family. I had the best childhood, everything. And all of a sudden, she's gone, he's gone, and I'm, I just gone out. I had a little dabble in drugs, in college, but getting out of it. And it was that moment of, I was on the beach at a bonfire for my sister, and one of my friends came up, and she's like, hey, I'm doing the street team in Miami, the Winter Music Conference, and, do you want to come and just shoot video? I know you need to get out. This is really hard for you, so just come with me and just shoot some video. I'm like, okay. And so I ended up going to Miami and realized that I could travel and shoot video. And one of the things my little sister had always told me, she's like, you need to travel more. You're a workaholic. You're always at this stupid job that you don't really like. Sorry, seen it. But
don't say sorry to yourself. Just
I know.
Sometimes it's just not your jam, and that's okay.
Yeah.
No, I learned a lot, and I'm so happy to have that corporate foundation, because I think it gave me like a really good work ethic. But I ended up shooting this crazy music conference, and her little travel soul jumped into me, and then I got the opportunity. I tried to go back to my corporate job, and I literally sat at my desk and cried in this.
He's like, I can't do this.
With these people I have nothing in common with. Like, my cubicle was just, you see my house. This is what my cubicle looked like. CBS News and everybody else.
So, Mr. Pam, do you feel that the loss of your family members created like a passion in you that was like, man, I have to just live my life the way I want to live it. I'm not going to do what I'm supposed to do. I want to do what I want to do.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
This moment where life can't get any worse. It couldn't get worse. I just lost half my family trying to keep my mom sane. It was hell. I'm like, all right, I don't care what other people think. I can keep going down this perfect job out of college, 401k, making good money, interactive designer, or just, follow my passion. And I just jumped, I just quit, and I drove out to this cattle ranch. I'm like, what am I doing? And I arrived, like, what the fuck? And in the first night, it was this big dialogue movie, a story movie, around the time of Brokeback Mountain. So it was the cowboys.
I was going to ask. I was like, wait a second.
And so the first, you shoot movies out of order. So the first movie we shot was actually the last scene in the movie where the two boys, the cowboys, finally like admit their love for each other and make love in this barn. And so we're in a barn, and it was like camp when I was little, but I wasn't getting in trouble and I was getting paid, and it was just like the world came together with these guys fucking in front of me, and it was like, this is my calling. This is so my calling.
What about it? What about two guys just getting it popping? What the fuck about that? Like got you excited and drove, like you got that fire within you. Like, how do you know that was your passion, that was your destiny at that moment?
I think it was, the whole day running around this ranch and setting up, and my primary job was just run around with my little camcorder and stir up trouble and, ask them, what are you doing? Like, how is it to be born? And stir up trouble. So the fact that I was getting paid for something that I've always gotten in trouble with was really awesome. And then that night, just the way they lit the barn, and there was hay everywhere, and we were dirty and rolling around, and it was a huge crew. There were about 12 people there. I was the only woman with about a crew of 12 people and then the two models, so maybe 14, 15 guys. And I love gay guys too. I just love them. So it was the cameras and the gay guys and the sex and not being in trouble and getting paid. And the scene itself was just beautiful. Like, not all scenes are that good. Some scenes just suck so bad and you just want to fucking join it. But it was one of those scenes that just was flawless. It ended up winning Best Scene at the Porn Awards that year.
Oh, wow.
Amazing. And the film Buckaroos won Best Picture. It won Best Videography. I helped.
Damn. And that was your first shoot?
My first shoot. And
that's crazy. Now, do you feel like you was
like, here? Bitch, take this. And the behind the
scenes that would drive anybody to say, like, this is my passion. What you think, Gina?
Yeah.
Like, if the first time you did something, you was like, yo, I'm just going to jump out there and try it. And you win all these awards for it. You'd be like, what? I've been wasting my time in this bullshit corporate job all this time. So that's a lesson to everybody. Everybody that's listening, listen to what she just said.
Yeah.
It took her to lose people that was very important to her for the folly, shed all of those that bearing that society had put on her, like, hey, this is the road I need to follow. It took that for her to say, you know what, I'm just gonna live my life. The first time in her life she used her passion, she won awards. So you gotta look at yourself and tell yourself, what are you doing? Go and become that musician, that actor, that life coach, whatever you think your passion is supposed to be, because you might win awards on your first try as well. Look at Gina now. Look at this show. We winning.
You have them strategically placed behind you.
Oh, look at that.
So hold on. So for our audience who is listening on the podcast, can you describe what you're holding right now, Mr. Pam?
Yeah, describe what you're holding. It is not a dildo. It is not a penis.
No, this is the Xmas Award, Best Director of the Year. This is 2018. This one is Best Director for the Gay VMs. Another 2018. Then I won Best Director. This is 2017. Then we have videography. I have a whole thing over there, and can I point out that I am a chick in a man's world?
Which is not easy.
Yes, cheers. Can we raise a toast? Yes, cheers.
I love that you're raising your award for the cheers. Yes, cheers.
For our listeners, she is raising her award. Instead of her glass, she is raising her award. That is awesome. That is somebody that's proud to be who she is. I love it.
So tell me about that. Like, tell me about the challenges and the differences between being a man and being a woman in the gay porn industry, because it is primarily men, yes?
A woman, yeah.
Right. Great question, Gina.
And it's funny because before we started this interview, I'll just say that Phoenix had asked me if I'm a feminist, and it's a tricky question for me because I really believe, in women's rights and women's advancements, but I believe a lot of times women are encouraged. Let's say you're at work, like when I was at CNET. Okay, I'm not getting the promotion. I'm not getting the office, I'm not getting all these things. And a lot of people's default is I'm a woman. And people have said that to me in my career too. Oh, you didn't get the raise because you're a woman. It's like, well, let's take that out of the equation. What are my characteristics that are making it so I'm not getting that? Am I not speaking up? Am I being too loud? Am I being obnoxious, which I tend to be? So it's, don't take that as the default. And, I was never able to play that card because honestly, I don't belong in the industry that I'm in. It's a gay men's world, and I love that. I think everybody has their little place where they feel comfortable, and somehow these gay men have adopted me. I love them. They love me. I don't judge them at all. I'm just one of the guys, like everybody has their dicks out, they're on my face, and it's it was never
it's just a normal Tuesday.
Whatever. But I think it really taught me, and I would like to share that with other women, that don't make that your default. Look at the characteristics of why it's not happening versus, and having me never been able to play that card. I can't. If I'd be like, you're doing that because I'm a woman, maybe I'll get the fuck out. And there are women who tiptoed into my industry, but they start playing that card, it just doesn't work. So, what is your characteristics that make it that you're not getting what you want, or maybe it's not appropriate what you want. Maybe that's, the universe, like what you said. Like when I decided to switch gears from the corporate job and go into gay porn, it's like, here, we're going to give you the world. If you're not getting that, then maybe that's not your right path. So it's an interesting thing. So, just don't take that as the default. You're a woman, you're a black man, like beyond that, what is the characteristics that you're not getting what you want in life?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, because I'm like in the most male-dominated industry, and I've been like crazy successful, and I'm super thankful. But and again, just not giving a fuck what other people think. That's what I'm really trying to concentrate on now.
That's key. That is key.
Yes, be unapologetically you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's what I was hearing from you earlier too, about like how you were saying that, these are things that I used to get in trouble for doing, but those are the things that you loved doing. But for some reason you're like, take a step forward and you're like, I want to do this. And people are like, no, don't do this. So your whole life you were just holding back, and you're like, oh, but I really want to, but how do I do this? Because I'm not being supported. And then you found that environment where you were like, oh, I can do the thing that I've always wanted to do and get paid for it. This is amazing. People aren't judging me. And then you were able to be you and to do the thing that you actually were meant to do or wanted to do internally, which makes you not only happy, but good at your job. People who are happy with what they're doing are amazing at their jobs.
I think that's a good point. I think that's why I've been so successful, is even though they're like, why is this girl here? Oh my God, she's so funny and weird and bubbly.
Because when you're having fun, you don't feel like you're working. If you do a job if you're in a career that's your passion, it's not working when you're having fun. So I'm a strong believer at that. So I got a question for you, Mr. Pam. I know you are a gay porn film director, awesome woman in your career. However, in your personal life, are you heterosexual? Are you gay? Like, what is your if you don't mind me asking?
Everything.
Everything. I like it all. Give it to me.
I'm pansexual. In my 20s, I mostly dated women, and then in 30s, both. Now I'm kind of hanging out with someone right now-ish, off and on. I don't know, it's a long story. But, we suck dick together. It's so hot. He's a bio guy that's in the movies, but, we were both dating a trans girl for a little bit. I like all genders. It's, whatever. There's so many.
What is that called? Is that called pansexual?
Yeah, I was going to ask because you said pan. So can you explain to our viewers that may not be familiar with that term? Can you explain what that is?
Well, pansexual is a popular term, but I call it pansexual because it's me.
Pansexual.
Oh, she did. That's what. So that's what I said. That's why I said, is it pansexual? Because I heard her say pansexual. I'm like, oh, you're trying to create something new.
I thought I just misheard. I thought
she's trying to coin some shit on our show.
I love puns, so I was like, that was my brain just playing a trick on me. I heard she said Pam, and I heard Pam, but no, you were hilarious. You said Pam.
I guess pansexual would be, you're into people of all genders.
Yeah, you like the personality,
like women,
right?
Trans guys, trans women, people, non-binary, whatever. Yeah, I've dated girls who have mustaches and boys that like to wear dresses, and yeah, it's so funny, and it goes either way because a lot of times my gay boys that I hang out with are so gay. I'm like, why would you never try being with a woman? It's the energy, it's the feeling, and I've actually hooked up with a lot of gay guys, and they're like, whoa, how did that happen? I'm like,
so they liked it. So they liked it. So you saying you turned some gay dudes out?
For a minute, sure. Especially for 30. I'm a little bit more calmer and professional now, but yeah, I don't know. I just encourage everybody to try everything, and it is funny now that I guess the first bio guy that I've like seriously dated and had forever, maybe 15 years, and it is funny because I feel like heterosexual sex is really thought of to be dependent on the dick. It's got to be hard, and you're not fucking unless that dick's hard. But if he's not into it, or he's in the movies too, so sometimes like he doesn't want to get hard, he doesn't want to come because he has a scene the next day or whatever. It's like there's so many other things to do minus a big old hard dick. So if you're having erectile issues, there's a lot of things to do, so don't worry about it.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
and sex is also a spectrum of things. It's so funny because I think that a lot of people, like, they go to middle school health class and it's like, this is what it is. And that's what people go forward with. And it's like, oh no, there's so much more than that.
The whole world.
Exactly.
I'm having a weird thing. I've been having sex with the same person for over a year now. And I didn't really have a lot of sex with the same person before. Call me a slut, whatever. But I'm like, this is so weird. He's like, no, it's good to have sex with the same person over and over. We get to know each other. It gets better. I'm like, crazy. But
yeah. Like
everything is and kinky and yeah.
Yo, Pam, I love it.
It's a good time.
So I have a question going back to what you were saying with like your father and your sister passing away and there being you and your mother. Does your mom know what you do, and how does she feel about it?
She does. She's so funny. She's very like, she wore white jeans when I was growing up and always had her hair perfect, and what will the neighbors think? And I think she had a little bit of, I didn't tell her I had that internship with the gay porn company, like, at all. I didn't tell my dad. But then after my dad and my sister died, I finally, I guess, came out to her again after everything. I'm bisexual. I have a girlfriend. So I told her, I just want to go on this shoot, and it's a gay porn shoot, and I think it'd be really awesome. And she was like, okay, as long as you're safe and having fun and behind the camera. So over the years, it's funny because it's been 16 years now that I've been full-time doing gay porn, and she still has issues sometimes telling her friends, like, or, do I tell them that my daughter's bi? Do I tell them that she's a gay porn director? I'm like, Mom, I'm a legend in my industry. Like, this isn't like me in a hotel room, like, being gross.
Yeah. This is what I do.
You're like, I'm a professional. I have awards.
Yeah, I'm more than a professional. Like, I'm like an icon in this. Like, I'm the shit.
I'm
the shit. Yeah, I'm the shit, Mom. Mom, I'm the shit.
And it's funny too because I had this big interview come out last night about me at a job change recently, and it's this long interview. It's awesome, and today's actually my mom's birthday, and so I'm like, oh Mom, the interview finally came out. I want to send it to you. Okay, and so I'm like, Mom, there's a lot of dick though. Like, there's dicks running down the side of it, and it's all ads, but I know you've seen lots of dick. And she always jokes, I could go the rest of my life without seeing another penis. But Mom, happy birthday. today. You're 76 today, and you're the most awesome mom in the world.
Cheers to your mom.
Cheers to mom. Cheers to mom, dude. Cheers.
I put you through hell, and she just wants to be safe. So yeah, she knows what I do.
Yeah, that sounds like such classic mom. Do what you love, but be safe.
Exactly, she totally is. Yeah, she'll listen to my stories, and it's so funny. How was your day? And I'm trying to think like how to tell my mom about my day in a mom version that won't freak her out. So I'll, they were having trouble getting excited about what we were doing, so it took a while. But then all of a sudden, one of them completed what he needed to do for his paycheck, and then we all went to dinner, which was...
That sounds exhausting.
Sometimes, and like the point of the story is supposed to be this, but to try to mom version, I end up...
You just change it all up. Yeah. It's like playing that game telephone.
Yeah. It's like, how do I PG-13 this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But she's learned a lot, and the day she's like, oh, are they into barebacking? I'm like, oh my God, my mom knows that. It's so awesome.
Yeah, so Mr. Pam, I know you, so you have, so you say your boyfriend or the guy you're dealing with for the past year is in the industry, correct?
Yes. Uh-huh.
I have a question. So do individuals that is in that industry that is consider themselves career individuals, are they considered gay, or are they considered like, this is just my job, and they separate that? Like, how did that work?
A lot of times it's the job. A lot of guys, they're totally straight, and I feel like gay is not just who you have sex with, it's your community, it's your life, it's how you identify. So they'll come, to Vegas and shoot for a week and just get pounded in their ass and love it. Like, really have a good time. All guys have prostate, so it feels good. And then, they'll go back to Roanoke, Virginia to their girlfriend or their kids or their parents. And a lot of times their whole family doesn't even know what they're doing. They say,
so it's a lot of, so most individuals that's doing it it's like on a download, like it's secret.
It depends. It depends how big they get. The one that I've been dating off and on, his whole family knows. It did negatively affect, his ex-wife. And it was weird. We did this Pride video for my old job around June, and I asked him his coming out story. And most gay guys, they've been asked 10,000 times, so they don't even think about it. And they tell the story that he had never been asked, because he's like, oh, wow, like, I guess I did come out. Like, I'm in Vegas now, and I'm accepted and for being a freak. And, he has this little chihuahua and this pink bag, but he's this big, huge muscle dude. And, he has his gay slides that he wears. And, he was from Florida, where he wasn't completely accepted for everything that he's doing. And then he comes
in
here.
Florida? No.
Yeah, I know. So I guess, I don't even think he'd call himself bi. Maybe he'd just call himself a freak, or he's like, I like to get weird. And
I'm into everything. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. So, what is life like for? I wonder, like, personally, professionally, what is life like for a gay porn star?
It is. Oh gosh, it's there's varying porn star is kind of a large term. There's people that kind of. I'd say that people come to porn for 3 reasons: fame, fun, or money. So the people who really need the money, they're kind of drifting in and out. It's not really their identity. The people who want to have fun, a lot of times maybe guys in their 30s, they finally have their body to where they want to be, and they're like, I want to show it off. This is great. I have another career as an accountant, but fuck it, I'm going to do some porn. So that's the fun. And then the fame ones, the superstar guys, really they get booked going on tours and appearances, and they can make a full-time living off doing porn. It generally is about 2 to 3 years. It's kind of like professional sports or
wow. So Mr. Pam, what is it like for a man in gay porn? Like, what motivates that individual to consider being a porn star? Like, where did that even come from, and what kind of lifestyle do they live?
That's a really good question. I mean, I could try to answer, but sometimes I think of myself as like a male gynecologist. You study it, but you really don't know. But I do have a gay porn star right next door. Do you guys want to sneak?
How convenient.
Oh, wow. How convenient.
I just have them everywhere. Hi.
Oh, what's going on, man?
I have gay porn star Leo Forte right here. Hi. So yeah, come on in. This is my best friend slash cameraman slash legendary porn star. How long have you been?
What's going on, man? How you doing? So you have the pleasure to be with.
This is Gina and Phoenix.
Yes, you have the pleasure to be with Coach Phoenix, Coach Gina, and we toast with the coaches. This is Perspectives, and we having a conversation in happy hour with Mr. Pam. We was asking about what it is to be what motivates an individual to become a porn star, and she said, you know what? I actually live next to one, so here you are, and the audience would love to know what got you into the industry and what's life like being the legendary porn star.
Ooh, legendary. Necessity.
Mr. Pam threw that out there. You said necessity, okay?
My whole fun, fame, and money speech.
Yeah, no, fun, fame, and money. First and foremost, when I was but a wee baby gay, I realized that there was a lot of notoriety and a lot of almost celebrity and ness to being a porn star, because everybody was like, oh, so-and-so is in town, we gotta go see them. But this is way before all the internet and everything was a big deal. So when somebody came in town, it was like, we gotta go, we gotta see who they are, we gotta meet them, get a picture, XYZ. So to me, that was like a touching a world that was not mine, touching a world that was bigger than mine. So that really became like, okay, I want that for me. I want that adoration. I want that fandom. But the reason I got into it was definitely necessity. It was during the recession of 2008. Is it 2008?
Yeah, it was 2008. The recession was 2008. Yeah.
It was a recession of 2008. I had just gotten out of the military. I couldn't get work anywhere.
Hold on, wait. You was in the military, what branch?
Air Force.
Oh, I'm an Army dude.
That's where my brother's at right now.
Thank you for your service. Did you deploy?
Yes, a couple times actually.
Yeah, I deployed a couple of times as well. Iraq and Afghanistan. Again, thank you for your service, bro.
Well, thank you, likewise. But when I got out, there was no work. There was no money to be made. I got a job at a Best Buy for $9 an hour for like 3 hours a day, and that's the best anybody could do. So young, burgeoning male, and I'm realizing I'm getting all this attention for my body and my looks, and I was like, okay, maybe this could be some way to make money. And I went out into the scene and met people, and I started go-go dancing at all the bars in Chicago. And that was making money. It was making like maybe $300 a night. So
not bad.
No.
Yeah, well, I mean, exactly.
I'm a dancer. I have personality. I can speak. I can just relate to people. So that was a way that I was able to like reach out and touch them. But surely, soon enough, and all the money started drying up. Nobody had it anymore. So what's the next step? To get paid for it.
Gotcha.
And what ended up happening was I reached out to a local who I knew had done a few scenes here and there. To this day, he's like my Quincy Jones to like Michael Jackson. Oh, I discovered Leo, la la. No, you didn't.
I discovered him. Yeah.
The problem I had, and continued to be somewhat of an issue, is that I'm a man of color, and the porn industry is not very accepting to that.
Oh wow! Speak about it. Talk about it.
They like tokenism, purely that. Even today, it's all about tokenism. We have our one black. That's all we need. So it was very difficult to get cast anywhere. I could not get in anywhere. My foot was not in any door. It was not even in the driveway.
Because all the majors had they one black, they one token.
I mean, hindsight, I'm looking back. I was a lot more twinkier. I was a lot smaller. Yes, I was fit. I was cut, but I was like, so I was competing against guys who were like mountains of muscle and just like surgically chiseled to perfection. So what I ended up doing is kind of went back in the back door because the front door wouldn't let me in. They're like, sorry. So
what an interesting choice of phrase.
No puns.
First,
all the puns.
A lot of buns.
All the buns.
So I went into the fetish field, fetish, kink, and they're less. It's less important what you look like, more so what you can do. And
what you can do or what you're willing to take, because you said fetish, so that could only like, whoa, that just, I don't know. You said fetish, I got scared because I'm thinking fucking people with black masks and like whips and chains and all types of bullshit.
I mean, I think that's a type of fetish. That's BDSM. That's an avenue of fetish.
Yeah, that's what I know. Yeah, but my mind went straight to that. Like, oh no, like
because some fetish involves cake. Some fetish involves shoes. Some fetish involves, armpits or wearing a furry outfit.
Yeah, for some reason, my mind just went to the worst case scenario. I guess I'm a soldier, so I just thought, like, I don't know.
To be 1,000% honest with ourselves, going through basic training is the exact same training process as if you were going through S&M. It is taking your person, breaking them down, and rebuilding them into something different, better, stranger. But it's the exact same process. And actually, that's why I found it so easy to fall into it, is because it wasn't anything foreign. And it felt natural. It didn't really take much out of me other than just being present. And I blew it up. Like I blew up. Everybody knew who I was in the fetish community. Every studio that wanted something real, something hardcore, they'd come to me. I gained a lot of notoriety for my bondage work, for my whips and chains and all that stuff that you can think of. And it was maybe my second year in where I had that kind of clout to me, that the mainstream studio started reaching out and saying, hey, we're interested in you. Would you like to work with us?
Oh, wow. The front door. They start knocking on your door.
Yeah.
And the rest is just, it's climbing up that social and political ladder that is the porn industry. And
Can I ask you both a question about the porn industry? So I have two questions. First question is around the difference between like heterosexual porn and gay porn, if there is a difference. The second question is around, because you were saying, Leo, about how you got into it kind of out of necessity. So I know that some people, not me, some people have a problem with porn in general because they feel like it is exploitation, that it's something that people don't really want to do, but like you said, that it's a necessity. It's not necessarily what you want to do, it's what you have to do. What is both of your takes on that?
Good question, Gina. Damn, good question.
Survival industry type thing.
Okay, first question. The gay and straight industry are pretty much parallel in their workings on the way that it's done. All the back end is exactly the same. I will say that I do find that the straight industry is incredibly ignorant. They are stuck in literally the 90s as far as health, as far as medical research. Things like HIV is a huge issue in the straight industry. In the gay industry, we know the difference. We know that there's no way that you can transmit if you're undetectable. We know that there's no way that you can contract if you're taking PrEP or any pre-exposure prophylaxis. So to us, it's just another day in the life. But the heterosexual world is incredibly discriminating towards it. And it being covered under the Americans with Disability Act, it's actually illegal for them to not hire someone based on their HIV status. But it's prevalent, and that is what it is. And
It's so separate, the straight and the gay, and everyone thinks, oh, porn. It's like we barely talk to each other, straight and gay, barely. And unless something comes down, there is a assembly bill, I can't remember which one, a few years ago about California making the mandatory condom law, and then all of a sudden everybody joined together, and it was pretty fascinating. We were in a courtroom, but other than that,
if something goes down, we close ranks, and it certainly is protecting the
entire
industry.
But it is very separate.
Yeah. And then you have the kind of like the intermediary, which is the transsexual porn industry, which kind of teeters back and forth. And it all depends, honestly, in this particular instance, whether it's male or female identified. Because if it's female identified, they tend to go straight to the heterosexual world. They associate with them. They party and play by their rules. If you're male identified, you tend to go the opposite and go into the gay porn industry and work and play by their rules.
Very true.
Interesting.
So,
that is interesting.
Do you know why that is?
Because I feel like
classical gay porn is celebration of masculinity. So if you look masculine, then you'd be accepted into gay porn. Whereas if you look feminine, although like women having sex with women is more straight.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go with.
Strange.
Yeah.
Wow.
Except for a handful of companies that are actually made by dykes for dykes. And then the trans, I feel sorry for the trans girls sometimes because they're gorgeous and they blend in at the awards ceremony. So when it gets down to it, they have dicks or whatever. And, some people get freaked out about that. So at the big award ceremonies, there's like one category for trans or, but then the F to M's, female to male transgender people have nothing. So they're more kind of tiptoeing into the gay.
Yeah, no, it's very much that where, see, a female presenting person is acceptable. In the same way that two women being sexually active together is acceptable in the heterosexual world. Now,
because it's a man's fantasy.
Because that's not considered. So lesbian porn is not considered gay porn.
Not really.
No.
That's interesting.
No.
Because who's the viewer
they fall under
of that?
heterosexual rules. They fall under heterosexual rules. They fall under that umbrella.
It sounds like it has to do with who the primary viewer is, which is typically male, right?
Yeah. It's weird how separate it is because people are like, oh, I want to get into porn. Or if I get in a cab, what do you do? I'm a porn director. Yeah. Not what you're thinking.
Can y'all answer Gina's second question?
You ever like something after trying it, not knowing that you would like it? Or going into it thinking, oh, that looks nasty. Oh, that just doesn't look appealing to me. But then you try to.
Yes, sushi.
That's amazing.
Calamari.
So let's talk about porn as sushi, okay? Because
I love it.
Sushi is foreign to the American palate. Sushi is from the East. Ooh.
It's raw.
It's raw. It's uncooked. Oh my God, no! Who would eat raw food? Ew.
It's not covered in ranch dressing.
So all those isms of what it is to eat sushi as a Westerner who has completely been told that you shouldn't eat food unless it's cooked till hockey puck hardness. You should not eat food that comes from Asia because it's probably a cat. All these preconceived notions, all these ideas that some, ignorant person has created in their personal fable is then passed down to the next generation and the next generation and the next generation. And then it becomes a living idea. It's alive. So when it comes to you entering into sex or sex work or sex industry, first and foremost, you have to get past this Western squeamishness of sexuality because sex should only be had unless it's for procreation, right? Fuck that.
It feels good.
So we're taught to be ashamed of what feels good. We're taught to be ashamed of our bodies, and you shouldn't do this. No, that's not Christian life.
Yeah.
So that's where all this idea that being in porn is a negative, or that it's what is it? It's something against women.
That it's objectifying, or that it's...
There we go. Yes.
Okay. So, objectification. However, there is a great power in being objectified. When you can walk into the room and everybody's eyes look at you and you know why you have power in your hand. Now, what you do with that power is completely up to you. It's completely up to the brainchild within you that says, today I'm going to do this. Today I'm going to do that. Now we have all these individuals. I'm not necessarily one of them because I'm an artist. I'm not a businessman. But these people who treat this business as their business make shitloads of money. Okay? And it's an everyday hustle where they say, okay, today I'm going to do this with my person. And this is going to bring me money. This is going to bring me success. This is going to bring me notoriety and fame. So no. You don't know what it's like to be in this world until you walk in these shoes. Because all you ever know is what you've been told by everybody that came before you that says no.
Yeah. I have a boy right now in Florida. He was one of the biggest models in one of the gay porn companies that we work with. Legend. And he goes back to Florida and he still feels shame for what he did. And every time I talk to him, I'm like, you are a legend. Like, you haven't even done porn in 10 years. And if I bring up your name, people know you. You need to fucking own it. The more you listen to them and, and you're a beautiful man that did beautiful movies that everybody enjoyed and you had fun doing it. I just think the more you own it, and people aren't going to say shit about it. It's just about owning it. But
piggybacking off of that.
Yeah.
These people who come in and make them, it doesn't even have to be huge, but just enough to cause those ripples in the collective consciousness of people watching. They make a huge impact because the people that are watching you, people that are getting off you, they create a whole narrative and storyline within their heads of who you are and what you mean to them and how you belong to them. You change lives. Yeah, you literally do. Now I'm 10 years in, so the guys that have been watching me when I was, but a wee baby gay, they're older, they're wiser, and they're like, okay, I just wanted a perfect example. I met a guy, we hooked up, it was great, it was awesome. A couple days ago, he says, hey, I'm in your neighborhood, do you mind if I come by? Sure, by all means, come on down. And we're laying in bed, and he's like, I really have to confess something to you. And I say, what's up? I know exactly who you are. I've been watching you since when I was a teenager. I think you're the most beautiful man I've ever met. I think you're amazing. You're working this for me. Now, I have that same reaction from other porn models. And what ends up happening is we end up pushing that narrative or that more positive perspective of sex and sexuality into the next generation, and so forth and so forth. So the exact same story that says, ew, don't, gross, not Christian, we're doing the opposite. Go for it. Yeah, it's fun. Isn't it awesome to own your sexuality, own your person, be proud and happy that this is me?
I could say, honestly, I feel like this generation, like the younger generation, is definitely taking on that approach. Growing up, I was born in like 82, so I'm 37 going on 38. Growing up, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I don't know where you're from, but where I'm from, it wasn't cool or okay to be gay, especially in the Black community. I'm wondering, you're a proud gay man. How was that life growing up?
It's still not okay, Black. It's still not okay, Mexican. It's still not okay. None of this. Well, it's not. Case in point, we still have tons of our Black trans sisters killed on a regular basis because they're found out to not be female. And who are they killed by? Black men. Who are the sissy boys getting beat up by and killed by? Black men. Because it's not okay. And the same thing goes in any kind of ghetto that you go to. It's still not okay. It's not okay.
How is it growing up in the Mexican community, being a gay Mexican American? Like, how is that?
The first time I ever realized that it was going to be an issue, I was, I think, maybe like 9 or 10 years old. And a friend of a friend, he said, hey, are you gay? I'm like, why? You just sound real feminine. And that stuck with me. And I thought, wow, okay, they're going to find out. And if they find out, I'm going to be in trouble. And I decided that, you know what? I'm going to make it a thing. And I decided to make humor. I decided to be funny. I decided to be like a smokescreen. Why? Because if I'm being funny, he's not gay. He's just funny. Okay.
Yeah.
And growing up, my mother remarried into an Italian household, which again is the same rules, same thing applies. It's not okay. And I kept it to myself for years until finally I was outed, and it didn't go well at all. They get out, kind of that the whole scenario, and it's still the same. Here's the thing, where I do find my strength is that even though I have my own psychological issues, and I'm like, I don't like this about myself, I don't like that about myself, I am galvanized and emboldened by the things that I have been, who I have become. That says, water off a duck's back, You don't bother me. And well, what's anybody gonna say? I mean, I'm like 5'7", 200 pounds, and I know how to kick ass. What are you gonna do? Step up.
Oh yeah.
It's funny because in hearing you, it's not funny. It's interesting in hearing you describe the industry and how you got into the work and the lives that you're touching and transforming and the society that you're transforming and infecting with your work. It makes me think of art. Like it sounds like you're an artist and you're trying to portray this feeling through your work and to connect with people on this more emotional level. Like it's not just this is sex. It's about like you said, your individual freedom, your individual power, exploration, self-confidence, all of these things tied into that. And it's so much deeper than I think one would imagine when they're just like cruising along on Pornhub. Like it's so much more than that for the individuals and also the people who are watching you as well. And when you were talking about the guy coming to visit you and he was like, I know exactly who you are, I'm just like, it's a groupie. How is that any different than you being a band member and like the lead guitarist and like sleep with it? Like, how is that any different than that?
It's not at all.
It's the same. Yeah.
Her and I, we have a common idea. Porn is art.
Yeah.
And I say because I get the opportunity to flex my muscle in the porn industry. I love making films and I love making photography, but Hollywood's not knocking down my door right now. But I get the opportunity to flex that and express that and live out my actual passions. So that ends up connecting with a lot of people. Now, here's the thing I have to also be honest about this, is that it's kind of a double-edged sword. Yes, porn can be this really awesome place where you can find yourself and explore and become who you truly are. Live your best life. Live your truth. There's a lot of guys that would have never been interested in saying, there's a lot of guys that would never be close to their sexuality or understanding who they are if it wasn't for porn. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, this industry is a meat grinder, and being meat every day is devouring. And if you don't have the ability to rise up above that, like, it will eat you.
It's competitive. It'll eat at your soul and the egos, like what I was saying.
Just like every other. Yeah, Mr. Penn, that brings me to a question for you. How do you stay on your game, and how you stay at the level that you are, being in the doggy-dog, a man's world?
I think it all stems, I told you about my sister passing away and being on that shoot, and I didn't have her to mentor the rest of my life. She was 22, I was 30 at the time, and she's gone. So all of a sudden I'm surrounded by all these boys. I don't have any kids of my own, so I have like 100 sons from 18 to 50. Leo started out as a model. I shot him and he was kind of stalking me to work with me, and then we ended up, he was my assistant for a while, and we started doing camera, and now we've shot together for 8 years or something.
Did you help him get his start? Did you help him gain his start?
Yeah, I took him under my wing and just basically gave him a career, and he's amazing. I mean, he's setting up a photo studio next door, and diving into his photography and something that we both love sex. We're both kind of pervs, but we also just love the art of porn and also the history. I think that's also something that's very different about straight and gay is gay, especially movies that we do. They have stories. They document gay history, and there's Nob Hill Theater in San Francisco is a legendary men's jerk-off theater, and it was closing. And it's like, okay, well, we got to do a movie about this, and interview our gay dads who owned it, Gary and Larry, and went in and wrote a script. One of the lead actors didn't show up, so Leo ended up jumping in and playing a non-sexual role. That's one thing that gives me such pride, is to document gay history and have that gay visibility. I mean, some people haven't even seen two men kiss kissing, let alone things that my mom's seen. I love it. In the very beginning, also, when I was, extreme feminist in my 20s, I was worried about shooting straight porn because I didn't know why the women were there and if they were being taken advantage of. And I feel gay is a little bit more of a level playing field. I feel men in general biologically are more sexual than women. They have to procreate and spread their seed all over the place like you do. But I am very kind, almost to a fault sometimes, and I have these boys that are very troubled, and I take them under my wing. You're always getting mad at me. Why are you talking to him? Cause he's a lost little lamb.
So you think is that motherly, that nurturing motherly love influence that you have over them, and that connection and that loyalty they have to you in return that drives you to become who you are and stay on that level?
It does. I feel kids,
That's what I heard.
watched after they're 18 and all of a sudden they're thrust out, and some people, their only choices in life is, military. Sorry, but it's a great avenue. Go to the military.
Yeah, definitely. That was a great avenue. I'm glad I went to the military. Awesome.
Oh, it's great. I love shooting guys who've been in the military. Again, thank you both for your service. And thank you, military guys who come to the porn set and they just bring it. They have that discipline. They're doing these survival crimes, and then all of a sudden they stumble upon a porn shoot, and some people take advantage of them, and it's hard. And I think the hardest thing about doing sex work is that you're making great money. I mean, you're making $500, $1,000, $1,500 a day, and then all of a sudden the phone stops ringing. You got to go back and work at Dick's Sporting Goods, and you're making $700 for 2 weeks. They're like, I made this in a day. What the fuck? Like that transition, the monetary transition of Gucci bags and first class to fuck.
So Pam, I know you recently transitioned into having your own production studio and your own company, correct?
Yes, yeah. I quit my job 2 months ago. It was scary as fuck. I had flashbacks to when I quit my corporate job, which I won't stop. It just came to the point where the universe aligned. I'm like, I just got to do this. So it's been awesome. I've been unemployed now for 2 months and just starting my own production company with Leo 2, just offering video production services.
Congratulations. Awesome.
It's amazing.
Soul searching and just breaking down what we do to its essence. What do we really love to do? Where's our magic, and what do we not like to do?
What make y'all different than the competitors?
Authenticity?
Realness.
We both really love sex. He has a lot more sex than I do, but I'm getting my groove on now.
Here's the thing. From a performer perspective and from a producer perspective, I first and foremost feel like if you're a producer, you should be having sex. If you're not having sex and you're making porn, what are you making? And I feel like a lot of the people who are in those positions to produce haven't had sex in like 20 years. There's no realness to it.
It's more of like a fantasy coming to life rather than practical and reality coming to life, right?
Well, I kind of have this theory that porn of the latter years, we weren't allowed to express ourselves sexually. Especially, I'm speaking primarily for gay men, but we weren't allowed to express ourselves sexually, emotionally, or physically in any realm of perspective. So that's when the idea of fantasy was king. Let me make this fantasy. If it was my world, this is what it would be. But now we're in a new era where it's actualized, where we can do these things. We can get married legally. We can. We're not getting arrested. We're not getting harassed. None of that. So now it's about actuality. What can we attain? Well, what is this? What role can I step into and say, I've been there. I did that. That was me. So I think that now you have to come into that perspective of what is real. What is turning me on now, instead of, well, I have this fantasy.
So that's why you make fun of my flowy curtains in front of a castle where you stumble upon the most beautiful bed covered in gay boys with their asses out.
Exactly.
Would that happen?
It happened once in real life. Once it happened, I'm like, okay, fair. I will never bring it up again. Okay.
Lay off my flowy curtains.
I was traveling in Scotland. I happened upon a castle.
It wasn't. We were in the Czech Republic.
But I think what makes us different is that we live it. we are having sex. We're exploring our sexualities. We are like getting home with that walk of shame. I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? We take our stories from our life and our life events and things that are going down. Instead of, well, we should be taking a trip to this city and we're going to have all these guys and they're going to be this and you're going to be that.
So it's much more relatable.
Exactly. That's what it sounds like.
And we tend to more and more just direct less and less. You know, we'll talk about it ahead of time. What are you into? I like having my dick sucked. I hate having my nipples touched. Okay, I'm into this. I'm into that. And then once they start humping, we just go and we have our walls. We're holding our cameras and we're doing hands. I'm a wide. Okay, I'm a close up. Okay, and just let the guys go. Versus others, big studio porn. There's a lot of stopping.
Yeah, my only direction, and I know I'm a junior to her in this, but my only direction is show me your sex. Yeah. Well, what is your sex life? I give two fucks. Don't look at me. Yeah. What do you do? What gets you going?
Yeah, and it's more authentic, and porn viewers feel that.
Like being on set with other people who make this, and this is their job, and this is what they're producing. Okay, now we're gonna get a minute of face cutaways. Do everything you just did again. Oh.
How do we do that?
Oh baby, oh yeah.
It sounds like trying to like record a documentary and being like, okay, lions back up, off the zebra. Okay, now attack again.
Lions walking to set, walking to the frame line.
Chihuahua, I want you to give me the same look you just gave me. There.
Lions look hungry. Okay, great. Mr. Pam, so you are starting your own production studio, or you have done that. It's underway. You quit your job 2 months ago. So what can we expect next from both of you?
Yeah, what's next?
Well, we're starting to pick up some clients, so we're going to shoot with other production companies just now to just, you know, get our groove on, because we've worked for larger companies for many years now. Doing that, also, you know, the fan content, the OnlyFans Just for Fans is my guy. There's a lot of platforms out there where model produced content, and it's like it's gone full circle from big studio porn to models making their own porn with their iPhones, which is great. It's authentic, but the camera work and lighting sucks. So we're dabbling in helping the models too, and you know, sharing content and also just sharing our lives. Me myself, I would love to do more speaking. I've done a lot of hosting of events and red carpets, but it's all been very porn related. So I would like to I just recently lost 100 pounds. You know, being the person I've always wanted to be, sporty spice, got my kayak and doing daytime things and just being a lot more healthy. And, you know, and Leo is just, you know, feeling his oats being his photographer self. You are a photographer. So I think us just breaking loose, and COVID is such a great time to just reinvent yourself and to just reset.
Mr. Pam, Leo, so funny story, right? Y'all probably don't know this because y'all didn't follow our show, but I know after this little interaction, y'all gonna subscribe, follow, and watch everything else that we have before you. But Gina and I, we actually during this pandemic became friends, colleagues, and now partners, and we developed this show. So we, to your point, is absolutely right. This pandemic has showed us that, you know what, instead of fussing about the distractions, and I call movies, going to the club, vacations, even though I miss going on vacations, but we can't vacation like we used to. Those are distractions. Now we have to find ourselves. We have to center ourselves, find ourselves, and then after we find ourselves, find our passion and do something with that passion. And Gia and I created this show and have these two fabulous guests to bless us with their presence. So thank you for coming out today. We appreciate you. We appreciate talking to you all. And this was awesome. This was awesome. But before we go, my favorite part of the show is our thing of the week. Mr. Pam, Leo, during our thing of the week, this is where we provide our viewers with something that inspires us, a topic, something that we encounter, anything that we could give our viewers and they could hold on to going into the next week till we see them again. So without further ado, my thing of the week. My thing of the week in the past few days, I have been receiving quite a bit of compliments on my clothes and my footwear. As you know, role model life coaching, hold on, let me flip my hat around so you know what it is. Role Model Life Coaching. My thing is living your model self. In order to be your model self, you have to live like your model self and dress like your model self. Well, part of me dressing like my model self and those compliments I was receiving was from a brand called Legacy Elite. This symbol right here, the LE. Legacy Elite, you can reach them at legacyelitewear.com, and you can live like me, get fly like me, and be your model self like me. That's my thing of the week. Coach Phoenix, Role Model Life Coaching. Coach Gina?
I want to be like Coach Phoenix. You got to give me the hookup with that, Phoenix. So my thing of the week is simply just a phrase. It's a phrase that I saw in a sex shop years ago, and it stuck with me because I think that it goes from sex to food to just literally all areas of life, but it is, don't yuck my yum.
Ooh, yeah.
I like that.
If I like something, don't tell me it's gross. Don't tell me it's bad. Don't tell me it's horrible. It's what I like. It is my passion. It is my love. It is mine. So it cannot be for you, but you can keep your opinions to yourself. Don't yuck my yum.
Damn, Gina, that was a strong one.
I've definitely been living that motto for quite some time, because I do come across a variety of people, and they've got so many yums that they like, and several times it comes against my personal things that I like or that I would enjoy. But I'm like, okay, let's do it. Let's go for it. I've never been one to say, especially now when I'm trying to expand my creative spectrum. And you know what? This has always been something that really turned me off. I'm going to turn it into art. And right now I'm trying to really bring people's yums in, see them in a different perspective. So I've been living that for years, and it's truly awesome.
I love that.
Yeah, I love it too.
Oh, what
that
a fantastic addition.
Hell yeah, definitely. Well, Mr. Pam, Leo, thank you to our special guest, Leo, Mr. Pam. Thank you to our main guests. I appreciate you. I appreciate your presence. Coach Gina, Coach Phoenix, this is Toast with the Coaches. We love you. We see you next week. Subscribe. Go to their pages. Follow them. Tell a friend and tell a friend. We out.
Cheers.